All right, T.
Okay, we all ready?
Yep, I am making you the co-host. Or I'm making you the host.
Perfect.
Okay. Make Tiana co-host. Angel. All right, T.
All right.
Oh, T, I can't share my video. I can't start my video.
Yeah, your video is not started yet, but your beautiful picture is up there.
Okay, I am trying to start my video, and
That's
it's
one thing about technology. I feel like over the past year, I've really just learned that sometimes even when you think you're prepared, you just can't. Can't sometimes.
oh technology. Hey, T, it says that as a host that you have to enable video for me.
Oh, so it's my fault. I am
I'm
so
sorry, girl.
All right, let's see. Uh, okay, let's see if you can fix that now.
Yes, success.
Amazing.
Awesome. Thanks, T. Hello, everyone. My name is Tiara. Welcome to our first cooking segment, Cooking with Tiara and Tiana. We're so excited to be joined by all of our amazing Beyond Type 2 community members. Again, my name is Tiara Smith, and I am the project manager of Beyond Type 2. I've been living with diabetes since 2017. Beyond Type 2 is a wonderful platform where you can find resources on how to live your best life with diabetes. And we're excited today because we're going to show you an easy salad to make. But first, I also want to introduce my amazing colleague and co host, Tiana Cooks. Tiana, say hi.
Hi. As Tiara said, we're super excited. This is our very first Cooking with Tiara and Tiana segment. So thank you for joining us. My name is Tiana. I am the community manager at Beyond Type 1. I myself have been living with type 1 diabetes for 7 years now, and I've been at Beyond Type 1 for a year. It's been such a joy, and I'm just super excited today to learn how to cook. This is a quick disclaimer. I don't know how to cook. So Tiara is actually teaching me today how to make this really delicious salad. I'm stoked. And ready to go.
Woo! So, okay, and if you're someone who is learning how to cook for the first time, I think this salad is a really great place to start because it is super easy. Tiana and I, we've already done this. We've actually made this together, and we found out that it was pretty easy and also just very satisfying. We are making a chicken, tomato, and avocado salad with corn, red onions, and cheese, and with a dressing. Now, when we start, don't worry about exact measurements because they are going to be in the app. So we're going to put the recipe in the app, and along with the salad, tea. What are we drinking?
We are about to make a delicious Moscow Mule. This is my first time also making a Moscow Mule, so I'm very excited about that as well. And it's Tiara's first famous leader here today.
Yes. Okay. So yes, we're gonna be drinking a Moscow Mule. So if you never made one, you're not alone because we've before like I said we've never really had a Moscow Mule before. So this is gonna be new for both of us. Hey, do you hear like a humming sound?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's just hear here. And feel free to put your questions in the chat, and we will answer any questions that you have about food and diabetes or point you to the right resource.
Now that you muted, I can't hear it anymore. But while she's doing that, this recipe usually does call for avocados. Chara will be using avocados. I will not be using avocados because I am very allergic. So I do have corn and some other really good stuff I'll throw on top of there. I think the cool thing about salads is that you can always just cater them and like create them however you want. You could throw cucumbers on it. You could probably throw apples, literally whatever you want that just appealing to you. And that includes like the dressing. Today I'll be using raspberry vinaigrette dressing. The recipe calls for balsamic vinegar, so I think it's really just up to your personal preference and what makes the most sense for you. I have been trying to avoid ranch. I love ranch. I could eat ranch on anything, but today I'm going to do the vinaigrette. I think ranch is a little heavy sometimes, and I'm just trying to switch it up a little bit. In regards to like low carb, obviously this is extremely low carb meal, and I myself, I'm trying to just make sure that I am maintaining like a healthier diet. I think during COVID, a lot of us we probably just ate whatever was available. And so I know I'm guilty of it. And so now I'm definitely trying to get back on track. And it is like right up the alley. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, so CJ asks, any substitute for corn? I don't eat corn due to keto. Honestly, CJ, this recipe works well without corn as well. So the other times when I've made this, I just omitted it and it worked just fine. So if you don't have corn, that's also okay.
That's a great question.
Awesome. So, T, would you I know you are someone who is really into fitness. How do you maintain your eating pattern when it comes to maintaining your overall health and
Yeah,
well-being?
I think for me, as I just mentioned, I'm trying to get back on track. I think I kind of let myself fall off a little bit, but whenever I am training, I just try to be very mindful when I am consuming foods because the food that you eat fills your body for the rest of the day. And so, if you're not eating like the best choices, or maybe you have like a cheat day, I realize that I really do feel it. Like, I do feel a little more tired, a little more sluggish than I would if I were to eat something like this. And so, that mindfulness maybe just means, eating once every 2 hours and kind of keeping more of like a strict schedule when I'm eating my foods. And that's something that I've been, trying to do, especially as this new year got started. I got vaccinated and I was like, yes, I can finally, get back to doing some normal things. I do think I'm going to activate my gym membership here pretty soon. Definitely going to go when it's a little quieter so that there's not a whole lot of people around, but that's what's really excited me. And like, I'm like, all right, now I have to like start working out, start eating very healthy again. And like I said, whatever you eat, it always has an impact on your energy levels, on the way that you're able to think, and like your cognitive skills and functions. So yeah, it's important.
Same here, T. Same here. I I'm not a huge low carb person, but I do love a good salad. And when I'm eating a good salad such as this, it makes eating healthier easier for me.
Absolutely.
So I guess we can get started with the ingredients that we're using today. So we are, of course, using chicken. This is boneless skinless chicken breast that I made here in my Instapot shortly before we got started. And we are also using greens. Now, I just bought a bag of greens from the store. You can use any type of greens that you want. We're using baby kale, or I'm using baby kale, baby chard, and spinach mix. And we also have our corn and
I'm like, I got everything right.
and of course avocado and tomatoes. No avocado for Tiana because she mentioned earlier that she is allergic. So, and also I'm using a cilantro lime dressing instead of the balsamic that's in the recipe, just because that's my favorite type. But balsamic also works really well for this. So I guess we can get started with just shredding the chicken. That's probably like the easiest thing. And you don't have to use boneless skinless chicken breast here. You can use boneless skinless chicken thighs. Thighs are also a really good option if you don't have chicken breast, because thighs are less expensive. So even though they have a little bit more fat, you do get a lot of flavor out of them, and they're very hard to mess up off of.
So, see, Um, I know sometimes I overcook my chicken if I put it like in the oven.
You said that you put yours in the oven, T?
I said whenever I cook it in the oven, I feel like I overcook it.
Yeah, yeah. So Tiana just said that whenever she feels like she puts in the oven, that she feels like she overcooks it a bit. And what that means is that you'll probably need a really good digital thermometer. And a really good thermometer can help you cook your meat to the perfect temperature so that way it's not undercooked or overcooked. And I'll show you like what I use. So I use a meat thermometer that looks just like this. Hold on. So I don't know if y'all can see it, but this is a digital meat thermometer that I use. You can get it off of Amazon for like 10 or 12 bucks, but it really helps me for lean cuts of meat like this. For chicken, you want to make sure it's cooked to 155.
Cool. I definitely need to invest in one of those because when your chicken is overcooked, it is a little bit harder to shred it.
That is true. That is true. Also, like again, like having something like an instant pot really helps with this, but you can just also throw the chicken in the pot, season it up with some salt and pepper. I did salt, pepper, garlic powder, and paprika. Came out really, really well. And that is my shredded chicken. And feel free and continue to ask your questions. So we are definitely here to answer your questions about food and diabetes, and definitely about this recipe as well. Do either of you do intermittent fasting? T, do you do intermittent fasting?
I've done it before. Um, Not my favorite. It's definitely doable, and I did like that. My blood sugar seemed to be in range when I was doing intermittent fasting.
You said your blood sugar was in range when you were doing intermittent fasting.
It was.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I think everyone's different. For me, I just didn't have a lot of energy, and so that was the hard part for me when I was doing it. Um, yeah, I would definitely recommend it if someone's interested in at least giving it a try.
yeah. I've never tried it, CJ. But I've met other people with type 2 who have, and it's really helped them be a bit more mindful with the food they eat. Are you doing intermittent fasting, CJ? Is anyone else watching who has done that as well? How's it working? CJ also says, depending on the type of chicken, you can put it in the oven for an hour and a half at 350 thighs, drumsticks, and breasts. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, you can. Those are really good cuts of meat. Again, like very much more inexpensive than boneless skinless chicken breast. Like I know boneless skinless chicken breast is something that people love, but it's so dry, and I feel like you don't get as much flavor out of it as you could just getting like other chicken parts, in my opinion. But I will say this, CJ and Tiana and everyone else, like having bone in skin on chicken breast is really good. It's still a little bit lean, but there's a really good technique that you can use to make that taste really well. I learned it from America's Test Kitchen. I tried it last week, so this is how I know, because you can put it in the oven, put some like salt and pepper on it. Make sure that you get under the skin. Make sure that you go on top of the skin, and then you pop it in the oven at 325. 310, pop it at 325 in the oven until it reaches about 160. You don't have to worry about cooking it up to 165 yet because you're going to sear it. And then when it's done at 160, you take it out and you have like a hot skillet. So I have a hot cast iron pan that I use. You put on some oil, some like vegetable oil, and then you sear it skin side down. And then you wait until that skin is nice and brown. And then what happens is you end up cooking it up to temperature, so to that 165 temp. And then you take it, and then once it's done, you sit it on a plate and you let it rest for about 5 or 10 minutes because you want all the juices to like stay inside the chicken. Also, that's another thing. Don't ever cut your meat too early because the meat hasn't had time to rest and make sure that all those juices stay in. But then once you wait that 5 minute mark for that chicken is so juicy and good. Like you
Yeah.
can't go wrong with that.
Wow. I'm learning something new today.
Yes. So for people who are just meeting us for the first time, I love to cook. So I this is basically my jam, and I love um, showing how you can eat really well with diabetes, and healthy food doesn't have to be boring. So as y'all saw, I just chopped up a bunch of cherry tomatoes. T, what are you working on? You working on tomatoes too?
No one can see me, right?
See you. I think we can see you too.
Yeah, I'm cutting up my tomatoes.
Yeah. Okay. What type of tomatoes are you using, Tiana?
um, these are just tomatoes. I
Oh,
don't know.
this is why I love like cooking with Tiana. Like this has been. Oh yes, girl. Okay, I see you.
You
Those look like Roma tomatoes. Okay, very good. I love it. CJ says, I stopped eating at 9 p.m. Eat between 12 and 16 hours afterwards. It should be so. Yeah, yeah, CJ. CJ, what types of foods do you like to eat? So, like in between that time when you are eating, what would you usually have? So, I just finished chopping up my tomatoes. I do have some onions here, but I think I'm gonna forego it because honestly, not feeling onions today. So, but I am gonna chop up this avocado.
okay? Great. So I have my tomato almost.
This is also like low key a cooking class for Tiana. So we are we are all learning something new today.
Yeah, these tomatoes were like a little bit, squishy.
Yeah.
They're very soft. So when I started cutting it, it kind of like fell.
Hmm.
But
So here's a trick for that. When you're cutting like whole tomatoes like that, you want to use a serrated knife because a serrated knife will cut into that skin a lot easier, and that way you're not worried about the tomato slipping and sliding or like the juices coming out too much. It gives you a nice clean cut into that tomato.
that actually makes sense. Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Of course.
Do you
This is why I'm here, girl. Um, so let's talk a little bit about some misconceptions that people have about, food and type 2 diabetes. I think here, beyond type 2, we get a lot of questions about what can I eat? What is the right diet for me? And, the thing about food is that food is so personal. And I think sometimes people when you're newly diagnosed, you feel like you want to just try anything and everything, or you feel pressure to try one thing. But I find that when you're newly diagnosed and you're trying to redefine or discover your relationship with food, that's actually a time to be really creative. So I guess like the answer to the question of what can I eat is the answer really is it depends on you. It depends on what you and what you like um, and what works for you in terms of you reaching your goals for your blood sugar. I'm chopping up my avocado, but I think that's something that we talk a lot about in the type 2 diabetes community. Um, and I think when it comes to trying to figure out what can you eat, it really I would encourage people to try different things and be honest about what works for you, what doesn't. So if you find that a certain type of diet won't work for you, don't feel pressured to 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 stick with that. I was at Slipstreams the other day, and someone had a question about this, and one thing that we said was start with the foods that you do like and figure out how you want to work that into your diet. Let's see, oh, CJ says that she eats bacon and eggs. Usually, lunch is usually leftovers, and dinner, and usually meat and the veggies. She does keto, fried, or baked, and steak. Ooh, I love steak. What type of steak do you like, CJ?
I love steak too. I love anything. I love chicken. I love turkey. I love any types of foods except
Yeah,
for any avocados.
I think like I think next time TV we're gonna have to do a steak segment where we show people how to make steak.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Mhm.
And then I love salmon. That is my go-to protein of choice when it
Love.
different meats. I love salmon. So we'll have to do salmon sometime too.
Yes. I make salmon all the time. All the time. It's so easy to make and it really fills you up because of all that protein. And it's
Yeah.
also a really good source of fat. So I just finished chopping up my avocados and tomatoes. T, how you looking?
I think I'm ready to go. I have some tomatoes. I have some onions here. Then we have those things over here. So looking good.
Awesome. So now let's just move on to putting our dressing in the bowl first. Now,
Okay.
Tiana,
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay. I'm nervous.
Um,
But
yeah,
I'll...
okay, okay. Stick. Also, everyone, you if you go into the Beyonce 2 app, tell us what types of recipes you want us to demonstrate. We're open to anything. These recipes that we're doing today are on the Beyonce 2 website, and we'll post links in the app. But you can definitely send us recommendations of recipes that you want to see. So, Tiana,
Yes.
why are we putting the salad dressing in the bowl first?
We are putting the salad dressing in the bowl first because we don't want our salad to get soggy, and it's also just easier to like mix everything up if it's like the dressing is on the bottom. You don't end up like flipping everything out of the bowl. They just have. I've never tried this before, and then Tiara was like, "You have to put the dressing in first." Uh, it makes
Yeah, no, everyone, yeah, Tiana is right. So I learned this technique. I think I was watching something on Food Network where you put the salad dressing in the bowl, and for everyone watching, I'm using a cilantro dressing that I bought from Trader Joe's. It's really good. It only has 2 grams of carbs per serving, which is 2 tablespoons. Typically for salads, you don't need as much dressing as you probably think. You just want the dressing to just coat the grains. And um, for grains like this that are really tender, you definitely don't want to add too much dressing. But for more hearty ones like a curly kale or a romaine lettuce, you can get away with putting a little bit more. But for this, we're just going to put in a little bit. So I'm only going to put in about a tablespoon. That's about right. And if you want to add more, feel free to do that as well. Haley, what types of steak do you like? What are your favorite steak recipes? So, and as Tiana said, like when you're putting the dressing in the bowl first, it makes it easier to toss everything. So that way, like you're not putting the dressing on top and you're like trying to do all of this and you get stuff everywhere. No, you put the dressing on the bottom and then you kind of sort of fold the food into the dressing and it really just coats it nicely. So I'm gonna put in some of the green and also for tender greens like this, just like Tiana said, you don't want to put too much dressing because you don't want it to be soggy.
because if it's a lot, you can save some for later.
Yep, you surely can. All right, so now I um put the greens in, and now Tiana, I'm gonna put in just some of my tomatoes because I do want it to look a little pretty. So I want to kind of garnish the rest of the salad with tomatoes on top. So I'm gonna put in a little bit of my tomatoes. All right, most of them, but not all.
I didn't cut it. I'm gonna put all of mine in.
Okay, that's cool too. And everyone, like, you can make this your own. So you don't have to use all of the ingredients that we're using. If there's like something that you want to add and you're like, they should be adding this, do that too. The point of like I think exercises like this is just to show you like how great things can be and how simple cooking can be. So I put
Yeah.
tomatoes, I'm putting some of that corn. Not a whole bunch, not for me. And then I'm gonna add in some of my avocado. And Tiana, what type of dressing are you using today?
I'm using raspberry vinaigrette. So there's
Mm,
7 carbs in, I think, 7 carbs in 2 tablespoons.
nice, nice.
So yeah, it's not too bad.
So now I'm gonna toss some sirloin, grilled on a cast iron skillet, always overcook it. Haley, yeah, definitely want to get a meat thermometer. If you find that you are overcooking it, so here's another technique that you can do. Sometimes I season the steak and I put it inside the oven
Mhm.
and I let it cook up to my desired temperature for like medium rare, however you want it done. And then once it reaches that temperature, I set the cast iron skillet on high, really high, almost smoking. And then I sear on both sides, and that way and that way like the sear is super quick, so it's just gonna brown. You're not cooking it too long. You just want it to brown. That's my tip for that. I could
No.
also add some onions and mushrooms too in the bowl. Yes, you definitely could. So I'm gonna toss this, and again, like I'm not I don't need a lot of dressing. So if you want to add more, you can definitely do that. But I just need like a little touch, a little touch of dressing.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. A little bit of dressing goes a long way.
Yes, T. Yes, Tiana. So Tiana, what types of foods are you interested in learning how to make? So there's like a dish that you love.
Yeah.
What type of dish would you like to make?
Um, that's a great question. I am open to learning how to make literally anything at this point. Um, I do want to learn how to make more like Cajun dishes. So I'm not the best at making like shrimp or seasoning any of that stuff. So I really want to learn how to season food because I think once I can learn how to season things, they'll just taste better.
Okay. Okay. And what are you? How are you feeling your food now?
Wait, say that again. I did not hear you.
Um, how do you usually season your food?
I usually just throw, whatever looks like it's gonna taste good on my food. And then it's either a hit or miss, but I think a little bit more guidance might be helpful. Um, I always throw, a little bit of salt, pepper. I really like Himalayan salt.
Yeah, I think for me, I like to I'm trying to like lay off the salt a little bit, so I use a lot of like fresh herbs,
Mhm.
um, or like vinegars or lemons.
Yeah,
So things that pack a lot of flavor.
yeah.
Um, so everyone, this is my salad, and I'm gonna put it inside a bowl. So also, this is this is lunch for me and Tiana. So we haven't really had lunch yet. So this is like something that we are like legit eating for our lunch or early dinner today.
Wow, this looks good.
Oh, like this cilantro dressing smells amazing. This is a pretty big salad.
Okay, I'm gonna like top it off with some extra chicken. What seasonings are your like go-tos, T?
My staple seasonings are garlic powder, um, onion powder, like Italian seasoning is another one I really love. I love I see girl. So I love I love my Cajun spice. So here's a tip: if you are looking for inexpensive um spices, I get my spices from Big Lots because they're usually like $1. So
Oh,
I can just like get a whole bunch. And after that, I feel like I'm pretty set for a little while.
That's awesome. I didn't know that they had seasonings at Big Lots.
Oh yeah, like you can get olive oil, a lot of really good ingredients, especially like almond flours, coconut flour, things that you would use on low carb baking. You can get that from Big Lots for that's really inexpensive. Um, CJ says you ladies should make keto bread, maybe some stuffed seafood dishes. CJ is speaking my language. I love it. One of my favorites is stuffed salmon or sole. CJ, you know what? I think a good stuffed salmon with crab or shrimp would be amazing.
That sounds so good.
All right, so that is part of the salad. I'm gonna put my chicken on. I'm gonna put my chicken on yet.
So yeah, this is my salad. Um,
Hey, oh, Jill, looks amazing.
Thanks.
So good.
Smells really good. I think it's gonna taste really good too.
Uh,
That was easy to make,
Wasn't
honestly.
it?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
gonna
like hungry. I want to try it.
chop off a little bit more tomatoes. Just to pretty it up a bit. Also, what will be really good in here is if you have any like fresh cilantro, especially since I'm using a cilantro dressing. I've added fresh cilantro to my salad and toss it in. It gives it that extra bite of flavor. I love it. Okay.
It's fun. I love cooking.
Yes, I'm glad that you love cooking, and I hope our audience I hope that you use your path or your life with diabetes as a way to just try new things. Like I think when we talk about diabetes not holding you back, it's moments like this when you're learning something new, and there's always something new to learn. I'm gonna add in a little bit more corn on top.
Love that. You can never stop learning about diabetes, about nutrition, how your body works,
All
what
right,
works in your body. Um,
nutritious
and
meal.
that's diabetes is like a science experiment
Yeah,
because sometimes things will go just how you want them to, and other times they won't when it comes to like food and carb counting and all that. But you'll get there.
this is my salad. It looks so good.
I know. I'm like really excited to try it.
All right, okay, should we try it? All right, let's see how it goes.
I'm so excited. I'm hungry.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And this is gonna be like pretty filling too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, I'm so hungry.
You know what? I realized I forgot to add the cheese.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. That
So
chicken is something.
the onions actually add really good flavor to it. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't put onions today, did you?
I didn't add the onions this time. I did last time.
Yeah, I actually really like the onions.
I love this. It's such a really good. It's so filling, and it's pretty low carb. So I think in the recipe
Mm-hmm.
on the site, it's what 15 or 20 grams of carbs. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. It would mainly be the carbs for the corn
Mm-hmm.
and the dressing. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Okay, well, this was great. I am definitely going to devour this here in
Yeah,
a few.
I'm actually gonna put this to the side now. It is time to make the drink.
Ooh, let's do
So,
it.
of course, it's springtime, and because it's spring, we want something that is bright and flavorful. Um, and we just want something that's going to end our day on a really good note. So we are making a Spring Moscow Mule, and we are using instead of using ginger beer that is high in carbs, we got some low calorie options on the website. It does say use bee mixed and ginger lime. I'm not using that. I'm using a low calorie ginger beer. Tiana, what are you using?
I'm using ginger beer as well.
Okay, awesome. So Spring Moscow Mules usually come in this type of copper tumbler. I found mine at like Bed Bath and Beyond. You can find them anywhere. They're not super expensive, but if you don't have a copper tumbler, don't worry about it. Just use another cup. It's cool. Um, so what we're gonna first start with is adding in some lime, some freshly squeezed lime. You're gonna use about a half of a lime. This is about 1/4. So I'm gonna squeeze in 2 slices of lime in here, and then drop into the cup. Uh,
Oh,
See, have
okay.
you had a Moscow Mule before?
This is my first time making one.
Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool.
I've tried one before. I really enjoy Moscow meals.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't say this is a drink that I would usually have. I'm more of a like, vodka and cranberry or like a tequila sunrise girl. But I always love an opportunity to try something that allows me to drink something new and doesn't give me like all the calories to go
Uh-huh.
with it. So, and CJ, what do you like to drink? CJ is very active in our group, and I love um, how engaged she is with our community.
We
She,
actually met CJ during our first Zoom meetup.
yeah,
Until
that's
Tuesday.
right.
So we do host Zoom meetups, and we're gonna host another one here in a couple of weeks. But be sure to join the app so you can see when those meetups are going on. They'll always be in the event section.
Yes, tell your friends to join too. It really is just a great group to learn more about just type 2 diabetes. Like, and sometimes it's nice to have that closed space where you can just ask what's ever on your mind without worried about feeling embarrassed. I
Yeah.
don't Okay. Um, I think we do have some virgin recipes on our website. So I'll make sure to link to a couple of those things. So after we add in the lime, we put in some ice, just a couple of cubes of ice. And then we are adding the sounds good, awesome. And then we are adding the orange. Oh wait, no, not the orange. The vodka and the
The
ginger.
body.
And then you top it off with some soda water as well, which let me get that out.
Okay. I can't open mine.
This is vodka that I just bought at Trader Joe's. So
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna add in the touch here. And a touch from me, whatever a touch is for you.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Um, so while Tiana is opening up her bottle, I wanted to kind of share some of the information that you'll find on beyondtech2.org, and also information that we share in the app. So on beyondtech2.org, you'll find information, of course, about the basics of living with type 2 diabetes. But I think what really makes our websites, woo! See, I'm just going over the what they can find on BT2.
Okay. Awesome.
So I think what really makes our platform stand out is that we are really peer oriented. So you'll find just a host of patient stories from people who are going through a similar journey just as yours. I think just off the top of my head, one of my favorite ones is by an advocate. He's in the group as well. His name is Bill Santos. He's one of the first people I met when we first launched Cilantro a couple of years ago, and he is just he wrote an article called "My Freshman Year with Type 2 Diabetes," and I thought it was so profound and so evergreen that I think anyone can relate to just being newly diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, or even if you're someone with type 1, it's something that you can relate to as well. So you'll find patient stories. We get a bit into technology, so talking about like CGM devices or continuous glucose monitoring, which is a way to track your blood sugar over a steady period of time. and get more insight into your diabetes. I mean, I wear one, so wear the food colors too. We get into things about insulin pumps, so that way, if you're someone who isn't interested in using needles or pens or syringes anymore, we have information about that. So pretty much almost anything that you need or anything that you want to learn about type 2 diabetes, you'll find it on beyondtype2.org. And then we have, of course, this lovely community that Tiana just so wonderfully manages. T, is there anything else you want to say about the app and the community?
I think everyone needs community. I don't know how much I can just express the gratitude that I have for my community and the people that have really supported me on the good days, on the bad days, when I had questions, when I had something I wanted to celebrate. And that's what makes me most excited about the Beyond Type 2 community and just seeing everybody engage and like support each other, whether they just reached their A1C goal, or maybe they're just really having a tough time right now. I always see people in the comments like, rooting for each other and helping through those times. So, yeah, I think everyone needs community. It's been great.
And we're really grateful to everyone who's been on this journey with us so far. Beyonce is only a couple of years old, but already it has made a difference in how people feel unashamed to talk about type 2. Um, we're really big on making sure that people don't feel stigmatized.
Yeah.
And we're all about like breaking down the stereotypes and jokes that people type 2 face, and also addressing the biases that people type 2 would face, and even interacting with providers. So we hope that our platform is a safe space. So,
Yeah.
all right, so let's move on with the drink. And this is our last bit, and then we are going to say goodbye to everyone. Or not goodbye, but see you soon. So
Yes.
I put in a touch of vodka. T, did you put in your vodka?
Nope. I didn't know if we got to that part. I'm literally just gonna put in just a little bit because I don't
You
really
know,
do.
I'm putting a touch more.
Huh?
All right. So now I'm going to add our ginger beer, and I would should probably do it.
I love to measure my things, just so that I have a better understanding of like how many carbs I'm gonna be intaking. So just this entire thing says it's about 18 grams of carbs, I guess. So I guess I don't actually need to measure this, but yeah.
Yeah, I got the zero sugar ginger beer.
Oh, you got the zero sugar one. I actually couldn't find a zero sugar.
Yeah, I got this one from Trader Joe's. Okay, so it does have it has about 14 grams of carbs, which is different than the regular one, because the regular one had like 36.
Oh wow.
So this one is 14. And I'm not even going to use all of this. Another comment. Oh, CJ says, I enjoy the community because I get to be around people on the same journey as me. It could be so comfortable on those difficult days. Yes, CJ, and we are so thank you so much for saying that, because that's exactly the environment that we want to foster. We all have our phase with diabetes, so Tiana and I as well.
Yes, we sure do.
All right, we pour in a ginger beer. Oh yeah.
How much do you put in? Like half?
I put in about 3/4 of the way
Okay.
for the bottom.
Awesome.
Because we are going to top it with soda water as well. And then we're going to put in some orange. I'm going to squeeze a couple of orange slices.
Okay.
I'm going to drop that orange slice in there. And I'm going to squeeze a little bit more with the orange. And I think I'm going to squeeze.
It smells really good.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it? So now I'm going to top it off with the soda water. Just so I get to the top a bit. And then I'm actually going to squeeze a little bit more orange on top.
Oh my gosh, my soda water almost exploded. All right.
And then I've Mine is done. I'm gonna wait for Tiana, and then we can cheers and toast to our first cooking segment.
Okay, this is so great. I've done these before. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna like be a little bit extra right now because why not?
Okay. You putting on the garnish. Let me see if I can do that too. Okay. I don't
Yeah,
think mine's going. Oh, okay. I think mine.
it's springtime. Like, ooh, spring.
Yes. Tiana, cheers, girl.
Yes.
Cheers to our community and to Beyonce 2 and to everyone who's joined us for our first segment today. We are so appreciative. Please, again, let us know what you want us to make. We have our food and diabetes section on Beyonce 2. You'll find information about nutrition, how to eat well on the road, how to go grocery shopping, just pretty much resources that's going to really help you on your journey. And of course, we are always developing more. T, shall we take a sip?
Let's do it.
All right.
Oh, that is so good.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
Like, so
Mhm.
make this like a virgin drink, and you totally can. Just do the same ingredients, but don't add the vodka.
Yeah,
Like it'll still taste really good.
yeah, I think so. I agree. Like I think obviously I can take the vodka in mine, but I could totally drink this without the vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I love it. Now I feel like a bartender.
Yes, girl. So we made a really great salad and a delicious drink. Tiana, do you want to close us out?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for everybody that tuned in. This was, like Tiara said, our very first cooking segment, and we are about to do so much more. So this is just the start of something great, and we just look forward to all of you being a part of that journey with us. At any time, you can always send us an email if you ever have questions, if there's ever anything that we can help out with. Don't be afraid to send us an email or direct message us on the app. But yeah, we will just continue to stay in constant communication with all of you and look forward to our next show.
Yes, and also one more thing, we are having a giveaway on social media. So follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and participate in our giveaway. We're giving away our new Beyond 2 hats, our two powerful hats. So if you go there, you tag some friends, you can enter yourself for a chance to win one of our new hats.
Yes,
Thank you,
and
Kaylee. Thank you, CJ. T, what were you going to say?
to say the cooking show that Star and I are hosting is only exclusive to the app. So make sure you're checking in on the events tab because that's where our links are going to be, and that's where all of our information for upcoming events will be as well. But thank you so much for all of you for joining. And Tiara,
All
you want
right. Thanks everyone for joining. Tiana, thank you again for just being an amazing co-host, and I'm excited to do this again. And please stay tuned for when we host our next meetup.
Hey, thank you. This is awesome.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.